here in this problem, we can observe that base year price and base year expenditure and current year price and current year expenditures are given. So expenditure, base year expenditures are nothing but what here? So if you name base year price as a P naught, so base year price P naught, then current year price P1, and base year quantity as Q naught and current year quantity as a Q1. Then base year price is nothing but what? Sorry, base year expenditure. It's nothing but P naught into Q naught. That is base year price into base year quantity. Next, current year expenditure. It's P1 Q1. That is current year price into current year quantity. So we'll rename them. So this is P naught. Base year price is P naught and current year price is P1, whereas base year expenditure E naught is equal to P naught into Q naught. Okay, and current year expenditure E1, that is equal to P1 into Q1. So to find any index number here, we have to get first Q naught and Q1. For Laspere index number, we need Q naught here because we need one more column, that is along with P naught Q naught, we need T1 Q naught column. So for that reason, we need to find Q naught. And for purchase index number, we need current year quantity. That is P1 Q1 is there already. One more column we have to calculate, that is P naught Q1, because Laspere takes base year quantities as a weights here and purchase takes current year quantities as a weights. And remaining index number, Marshall Edgeworth, he considers the arithmetic mean of both base year and current year quantities as a weights. And Derbyshire Bowles, he considers arithmetic mean of Laspere's and purchase index number as his index number, and whereas Fisher index number, his index number is nothing but the geometric mean of Laspere and purchase index number. So to find all these 5 index numbers, price index number, I'm talking about here now. So to find the price index number for all these 5 persons formula, we need to identify first Q naught and Q1, then remaining 2 columns. So let us find first Q naught is equal to E naught divided by P naught. So E naught is nothing but what here? P naught into Q naught. Okay. So first E naught 16 divided by 4. That is 4. Then 24 divided by 6. Again 4. 40 divided by 8. 5. And 4 divided by 2 is 2. Next Q1. Q1 is equal to E1 divided by P1. So E1 is nothing but P1 Q1. So E1, first E1 is 12. 12 divided by 6 is 2. Next 32 divided by 4, 8. Next 30 divided by 10, 3. 6 divided by 2, 3. Now identified Q naught and Q1 column. Next, what columns we need here? So already here P naught Q naught column is there. Not necessary to calculate once again. And P1 Q1 column is also there. It is also not necessary to calculate. So some students they calculate it once again after finding getting these 2 values. Okay, so don't do that. You don't get extra marks there. It is just a waste of time in the exam hall. So next we need to identify what? Q naught P1, that is P1 and Q naught. So P1 Q naught. And while calculating these columns, it may be P naught, Q naught, when they are given directly P naught, Q naught, P1 and Q1 columns directly. While calculating these P naught into Q naught, P naught into Q1, P1 into Q naught, and P1 into Q1 columns. So where the students makes mistakes in exam hall. So while multiplying, so P naught is here, Q naught is here, P1 is here, Q naught is here. So while multiplying the values here, you may miss one row or one column. You take next value or up and down. That is also possible. So because of that, a silly mistake, you will lose marks in exam. So what I say here, just put one finger on even column. So these two you have to multiply, or just keep your two fingers on these two columns here. So P1 into Q naught. So 6 into 4. 6 into 4, 24. Next 4 into 4, 16. Next 10 into 5, 50. And last 2 into 2, 4. Okay. Now next column, what we have to identify here? P naught Q1. So P naught column is here, Q1 column is here. So here it is not possible to keep two fingers for me, but in exam hall in a single paper you can keep your two fingers. So by holding the exact figures, you multiply them, okay, or else there is a chance that to missing the values here. So 4 into 2, 8, 6 into 8, 48, 8 into 3, 24, and 2 into 3, 6. Now make the total of all these four columns: P naught Q naught, P1 Q1, P1 Q naught, P naught Q1. Okay, so we need them in the formula. So first formula. So just here 84 here, and 80 here, 94 and 86. Okay, so I write here summation P naught Q naught is equal to 84. Summation P naught Q1 is equal to 86. Summation P1 Q naught is equal to 94. And summation P1 Q1 is equal to 80. Now first Laspeyres formula. P naught 1 L. So here don't forget to write L. So it indicates Laspeyres index number. Okay. So P naught 1 is equal to summation P1 Q naught divided by summation P naught Q naught into 100. Summation P1 Q naught and P naught Q naught into 100. So is it visible clearly to you? Now, so P1 Q naught, summation P1 Q naught is 94 divided by summation P naught Q naught is 84 into 100 is equal to. So can you tell me the answer? 94 divided by 84 into 100. Triple 1.90. That means here price level increased by 11.9%. Okay. So here Laspeyres use what? Base year quantities as a weights. Next past days P naught 1 past days. So here write P, so that indicates past days index number. So P is formula is summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P naught Q1 into 100. So summation P1 Q1 is 80 divided by summation P naught Q1 is 86. is equal to 80 divided by 86 divided by into 100. 80 divided by 86 into 100 is equal to how much? 93.023. Okay. So next formula, P01 Marshall-Edgeworth. So Marshall-Edgeworth formula, direct formula I take here. Okay. So that is summation P1 Q0 plus summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q0 plus summation P0 Q1 into 100. Okay. So here again, if you refer the formula, if you read it carefully, so here numerator part. Okay. So these are taken from not taken, but they are similar to Laspeyres and Pasteur's formulas numerators, and both denominators, they are the denominators of again Laspeyres and Pasteur's. So this formula, how this formula came, that I already explained in regular classes. So it is the average of what? Base year quantity and current year quantity. So finally we got this formula. So if we cut this plus here, so Laspeyres formula and here Pasteur's formula. Okay. So but it is not taken from these two formula. Remember that this formula is derived by taking the average of base year and current year quantities. Okay. Now finally, so summation P1 Q0 94 plus summation P1 Q1 80 divided by summation P0 Q0 84 plus summation P0 Q1 86 into 100 is equal to 94 plus 80, 174 divided by 84 plus 86, 170 into 100 is equal to, so how much? 174 divided by 170 into 100. 102.35. Okay. So Marshall-Edgeworth, his formula tells price level increased by just 2.35% here. How much? 2.35%. How we got that? Just deduct the answer or deduct 100 from the answer. Okay. So 102.35 minus 100, we get 2.35. So price level increased by 2.35%. Okay. So Dervish-Bowles. So P01 above, right? B and B, that indicates Dervish-Bowles formula. So his formula, he has taken the average of both Laspeyres and Pasteur's formula. Okay. So if in exam the question is asked where Laspeyres and Pasteur's index number are asked, along with both Laspeyres and Pasteur's Dervish-Bowles or Fisher index number is asked, then use the formula summation Laspeyres index number plus Pasteur's index number divided by 2. If you have calculated both, then use this formula. If they asked directly to calculate Dervish-Bowles, then use this formula. Summation, that is 1 divided by 2 into bracket summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 plus summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q1 into 100. So that is equal to, so 1 divided by 2 into bracket summation P1 Q0 is 94 divided by summation P0 Q0 84 plus summation P1 Q1 80 divided by summation P0 Q1 86 into 100. So in the next step, what we get here? 1 divided by 2 into bracket 94 divided by 84. 1.112. How much? 1.12. Next two digits. Take 4 digits here. Or exactly 2 digits you got. Okay. 1.1190 plus 80 divided by 86. 80 divided by 86. 0.9302 into 100. Okay, now add these two. 1 divided by 2 into 1.119 plus 0.9302. So that is 2.4392. 2.0492. 0492. Okay, into 100. Okay, now multiply 2.0492 into 100 divided by 2. So 102.46. Okay, so answer is almost equal to Marshall Edgeworth answer right here. Okay, and whenever you calculate using this formula here inside take 4 digits. Otherwise you get here exactly integer number 1 or 2. Okay, so 1 or 2 is not the right answer. 1 or 2.46 is the right answer for this exam purpose here. Remember? Okay, now if you calculate the same taking the last pairs and fastest answer using this formula. Okay, so how much we get here? The answer there is how much? 111.9 only, no? I think there plus 93.02 divided by 2. You get the same answer 102.46. Anybody noted that answer? 111.9 plus 93.02. So 102.46 only. Okay, right? So this is how we calculate. If already we calculated last pairs and past days, use this formula. If you are not calculated them, directly calculate Dervish-Boolean index number if asked, then use this formula and calculate that by these steps. Okay. Now Fisher's index number. So P01 and above here, right? F indicates Fisher. So Fisher index number formula again. If along with last pairs and past days index number Fisher is asked, then use a shortcut, that is the root of last pairs index number into past days index number. So that is Fisher's index number is nothing but the geometric mean of last pairs and past days index number. So if they both are not asked, directly Fisher index number is asked, then the formula is summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 into summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q1 into outside the root into 100. So now here root of summation P1 Q0 94 divided by summation P0 Q0 84 into summation P1 Q1 80 divided by summation P0 Q1 86 outside the root into 100. Okay, now what is the answer for 94 divided by 84? root of 1.1190 into 80 divided by 86, 0.93, how much? 935 or 9035? 9302. Okay. Into 100. Now multiply these two. 0.1190 into 0.9302. 1.119 into 0.9302. 1.041. Okay, root, find the root and multiply it by 100. 1.041 root into 100. 102.03. So it is the answer is similar to both Marshall Edwards and Dervish Wallace here. They are similar, not exactly, but similar answer we get. And if you use by this formula, so here Lasper's price index number 111.9 into 93.02. Find the answer for this. 111.9 into 93.02 and root. So same, we'll get same answer. But this formula, when we use this formula, when Lasper's and Pastis and Fisher index number, all three are asked, use this formula. If nothing is asked, then use this formula. Okay, some students, why I am telling this particularly, some students when Fisher index number is asked directly, they go to calculate Lasper's and they calculate Pastis, then they use this formula. So it's a waste of time. Okay, so marks will be given as per the calculation there. So for 5 marks, how much is enough? That much only they will ask. For 10 marks, how much is required? That much they will ask here. So direct question, direct answer. Find the Fisher index number. So using this formula, find the Fisher index number. Understood? Okay. So here time reversal test P01, that is our regular routine price index number, taking base year as the 0 and current year as the 1. So where time is reversed, so in the place of base year, current year is taken, and in the place of current year, base year is taken here. So time are reversed here in the formula. So we calculate what? Both and multiplication of both. So if you multiply both without factor 100, the total, the product should be 1 here. If we get the product 1, then we say time reversal test is passed by that particular index number. Okay, and how to show them here? So first you write the condition of time reversal test and show the formula without factor 100 for which the test is asked. So for example, we'll take Lasper's index number now. So Lasper's index number without factor 100. So that is P01 is equal to summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0. So I am not taking 100 here. Then time reversed formula P10 is equal to, so in the place of 1 put 0 and in the place of 0 put 1. So formula becomes summation P0 Q1 divided by summation P1 Q1. So as per the formula, fill the values in these two formula and multiply them. Okay, so that means here P01 into P10 is equal to, so summation P1 Q0 94 divided by summation P0 Q0 84. into summation P naught Q1. So P naught Q1 is 86 divided by summation P1 Q1 is 80. Okay. So here nowhere chance to cut or cross multiplication. No chance to cancel anything here. So that means the answer will not be equal to 1. If there is a chance to cancel entire thing here, then our answer will be 1. If you cross multiply them, if you multiply, no doubt you may get answer near to 1. It may be 1.01, 1.02 or maybe 99 point, but that is not 1. Here the answer should be exactly 1. So here numerator is 94 means here denominator should be 94. Here it is 84 means here also 84. Then we can say it satisfies TRT. Then the answer is equal to 1. So here it is not. So Laspeyres index number does not satisfy the time reversal test. And along with the Laspeyres, which all index number does not satisfy the TRT here? So first one Laspeyres, second purchase price index number. It also not satisfies the TRT. Then Dervish-Wallace index number. So that also does not satisfy the TRT. Whereas Marshall-Edgeworth index number and Fisher index number, these two satisfies the time reversal test. And also Kelly's index number. So these three formula, Marshall-Edgeworth, Fisher and Kelly, these three formula satisfies the TRT. And remaining three, Laspeyres, Purchase and Dervish-Wallace does not satisfy the time reversal test. Factor reversal test. So factor reversal test. So here the factors of index numbers, two factors, main two factors, that is price and quantity. If we interchange them, if we interchange means in the place of price if we put quantity, and if in the place of quantity if we put price, and if you multiply both. So already we know, we studied in the beginning of the chapter itself that price into quantity is equal to value, that is expenditure. Okay, if you multiply price and quantity, we will get what here? Value. So if we multiply price index number and when we interchange the factors price into quantity and quantities into price, then it becomes quantity index number formula only. Then price index number into quantity index number should be equal to what here? Value index number. When price into quantity is equal to value, then price number into quantity index number must be equal to what here? Value index number. So which all formula satisfies that? So which all satisfies? Here only one formula satisfies this condition, that is a Fisher's price index number, and remaining all Laspeyres, Purchase, Marshall-Edgeworth, Dervish-Wallace and Kelly, all these five formulas does not satisfy the factor reversal test. They fail in satisfying this condition. Okay, then how this Fisher index number satisfies? Let us take. So what is the formula of a Fisher index number without factor F? So Fisher's index number without factor 100. So he is a price index number. P01 is equal to root of summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0 into summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q1. No 100. Okay, then quantity index number. When we interchange the price into quantity. So in the place of P, we are putting Q here. Q01 is equal to. Whereas time is not changed here. Time remains the same. So here P1 Q0. So in the place of P, we'll write Q. So summation Q1, and in the place of Q, we write P. So Q1 P0 divided by P0 Q0 becomes summation Q0 P naught into so P1 Q1. So in the place of PQ, so summation Q1 P1 divided by, again here P naught Q1 means summation Q1 P1. So just we interchanged the factor P and Q. So we got quantity index number. So when we multiply both, what happens here? So P naught 1 into Q naught 1 is equal to. So and what is the formula for V naught 1? Value index number. So it is nothing but what here? Base year expenditure and current year expenditure. The ratio between both. So current year expenditure P1 Q1 summation P1 Q1 divided by base year expenditure summation P naught Q naught. So summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P naught Q naught. So I am not taking into 100 here. Okay. So what are the values of P1 Q1? So P1 Q1 is 80 divided by summation P naught Q naught is 84. So 80 divided by 84 is the value here. Okay. So that answer we should get when we apply all the values here in this two formula. So first P1 Q naught. P1 Q naught is 94 in one single root. I will take all the values here because multiplication sign is there. So P1 Q naught. So summation P1 Q naught is 94 divided by P naught Q naught is 84 into P1 Q1 80 divided by P naught Q1 86 into Q naught 1 summation Q1 P naught. So summation Q1 P naught is nothing but what? P naught Q1. Okay, so the answer is 86 as per the rule of mathematics. A into B is equal to B into A. So Q1 P naught is equal to P naught Q1. Then summation Q naught P naught. It's nothing but summation P naught Q naught, that is 84 here into summation Q1 P1. So summation Q1 P1 is equal to what? Summation P1 Q1, and that is 80 divided by summation Q naught P1. So Q naught P1 is nothing but P1 Q naught, that is 94. Okay, so here if we cross multiply them, we can cancel many things. So 94. So we cancel these two, and here 80 are there in the above place. So 86 here, 86 and 86, these two we can cancel. Then what left in the formula here? 80 in the numerator part, 80 into 80 and 84 into 84. So we get 80 into 80 divided by 84 into 84 is equal to, if you multiply them and if you take outside the root, so what we get there? So we get 80 divided by 84. So not necessary to show this directly. If you show directly 80 divided by 84, that is also okay. So here the condition V naught 1 is 80 divided by 84. So here answer is also 80 divided by 84. Therefore here Fisher index number satisfies the factor reversal test, whereas others are failed in satisfying this condition. P naught 1 into Q naught 1 is equal to V naught 1.